Jaylen Brown wasn't always the guy dropping 30 on your favorite team's head while locking up their best player on the other end. But these days, he's exactly that guy. Main script Brown's evolution from a raw, athletic prospect into an elite NBA talent has been nothing short of spectacular. And let's be honest, he's doing it in a way that makes Celtics fans sleep well at night and opposing fan bases toss and turn with nightmares. His scoring has taken a leap so significant that even NASA is looking into it. Brown has gone from being a secondary scorer behind Jayson Tatum to a legitimate offensive powerhouse capable of taking over games. He's not just settling for jumpers, he's bullying defenders in the paint, pulling up for smooth mid-range shots and splashing threes with confidence. And when he decides to drive, it's like a freight train with no brakes. Good luck stopping that. But it's not just about the points. Brown's defensive contributions are a massive part of his rise. He's out there taking on the toughest assignments, whether it's guarding a shifty guard or matching up against a dominant forward. His quick hands, elite lateral movement, and defensive IQ make him a nightmare for opposing offenses. His ability to guard multiple positions allows the Celtics to throw all sorts of chaotic schemes at teams, and that's been a game changer for their success. And let's not overlook his impact on the Celtics offense as a whole. Brown's skill set opens up the floor, giving Tatum more room to operate while also allowing Boston's role players to thrive. His improved playmaking means he's not just scoring, he's creating opportunities for others. Gone are the days when defenses could just focus on Tatum and dare others to beat them. Now they've got to pick their poison, and Brown is making sure they regret every single decision they make. Now, here's where things get fun, and by fun, I mean wildly controversial. Is Jaylen Brown a top 5 player in the NBA? Celtics fans will yell yes before you even finish the question, while skeptics might take a little more convincing. But let's talk about it. Recently, Brown has been putting up numbers and performances that have him in the conversation with the league's absolute best. When you compare his play to superstars like Giannis Antetokounmpo, Luka Doncic, Joel Embiid, and Nikola Jokic, you start to realize he's not that far off. While those guys are often considered in the undisputed top tier, Brown's two-way dominance and ability to swing games in Boston's favor make him a legitimate candidate for that conversation. Of course, the top 5 debate is as subjective as arguing over the best pizza toppings. Pineapple stays controversial. Some value pure offensive numbers, others prioritize defense, and some look at a player's impact on winning. Brown checks multiple boxes: elite scoring, top-tier defense, and significant team success. The issue? He plays alongside Tatum, which sometimes makes people hesitate to give him full credit. But if Brown were on a team where he was the clear #1 option, would his numbers be even better? Probably, and that's what makes this debate so intriguing. Let's get into the numbers because as much as eye tests and highlight reels are fun, stats tell the real story. And Jaylen Brown's stats, they've been leveling up like he's grinding XP in a video game. Every season, he comes back better, stronger, and more unstoppable. Right now, his scoring averages have him sitting comfortably among the top 10 in the league. Yes, right next to those household names like Giannis, Luka, and Jokic. Not bad for a guy who was once considered just an athletic slasher. If accolades are your thing, Brown's got receipts. His all-star appearances and all-NBA selections prove that he's not just good, he's among the best in the game. But it's not just about racking up awards, it's about showing up when it matters. And Brown, he lives for those big moments. Some players dominate the regular season but disappear when the playoffs arrive. Not naming names, but you know who they are. Brown, on the other hand, thrives when the lights shine the brightest. Remember Boston's great postseason performances? Game after game, who was there making key plays, locking down elite scorers, and effortlessly putting 25+? Brown. He welcomes the pressure, not runs from it. He has shown that he is suited for the postseason, something that distinguishes the really great from the stat padders. Let's talk about the bigger picture. The Celtics are always in the championship conversation, and Brown is a massive reason why. Sure, Jayson Tatum might get more media love, but Boston's success isn't a one-man show. Brown is the team's heartbeat, the guy who takes on the hardest defensive assignments, scores in crunch time, and sets the tone with his energy and effort. A lot of players can get buckets, but how many can do that while also anchoring a defense and elevating a team? Brown's impact extends far beyond the stat sheet. He makes winning plays, whether it's diving for loose balls, making the extra pass, or coming up with a clutch stop. He's the kind of player every championship team needs, the guy who does the dirty work but also has the skill to take over when needed. Beyond the individual honors, Brown has been instrumental in the Celtics' success. The squad is always a contender, and one major factor is his ability to play exceptional on both sides of the court. He's shown he's one of the most complete players in the game, whether it's tackling the toughest defensive tasks, scoring in crunch time, or setting the tone with his vitality and drive. At this point, the argument is not whether Brown is exceptional. Rather, it is simply his appropriate ranking. To support it, he has the stats, defense, honors, and postseason performance record. Not too long from now, we will be discussing him as a top 5 league player if he maintains this. So, what made the man turn into the superstar he is? Jaylen Brown is grateful for the hate. Seriously, while most players brush off criticism with media-trained cliches, Brown embraces it, keeps the receipts, and uses them as fuel. Every jab, every doubt, every trade rumor, it all goes into the mental vault, driving him to push his game to new heights. All the things that I thought were setting me back or adversity ended up being the biggest blessings, Brown told Fox Sports. Getting moved to the bench, even trade talks, getting booed, whatever the fans were saying, overpaid, overrated. All of that stuff made me who I am today. It drove my work ethic, and it drove my demeanor. That demeanor? Stoic, machine-like. Brown doesn't just take criticism. He absorbs it, processes it, and turns it into something dangerous for opponents. He wasn't always this way, though. Early in his career, he probably felt the weight of every doubter, every hot take from analysts questioning his contract, his skill set, or his fit next to Jayson Tatum. But at some point, he stopped letting the outside noise affect him and instead built a mental fortress. "I've been developing it for so long I completely forget where it comes from," Brown said. "But it comes from the outside world and me navigating it. I felt like I had to build it to protect myself. I've been in it for so long I can't even remember what it is not to be like this. It makes you a little robotic. But I needed to do that to survive. Call it an alter ego, call it a survival mechanism, whatever it is, it's working." The version of Brown we see today is relentless. He doesn't just score, he imposes his will. He doesn't just defend, he takes matchups personally. And all of this is fueled by the doubt that once surrounded him. So the next time someone calls him overpaid or questions his game, they might want to reconsider, because history has shown that every slight only makes Jaylen Brown stronger. The argument is as fierce as it has ever been, and depending on whom you consult, the response could differ. One thing is clear, though. Jaylen Brown has entered the dialogue forcefully. Among the league's most complete players is his excellent two-way play, clutch performance, and always developing game. Should he maintain this, little discussion will remain. In what way do you suppose? Right now, Jaylen Brown is a top 5 NBA player. Drop your ideas in the comments and start the conversation.